Morning. Good morning. Morning. Because right now it's morning in our country. And usually in our country, even if it's already evening, we greet everyone good morning in Forever Living. Because that way, we're still fresh and we're excited about opportunities. We've been with Forever for the last 14 years. We're Sapphire managers. I'd like to talk about our experiences and maybe share what we can learn from our experiences when we did Forever Living way back in 1992 up to the present. I am a mechanical engineer by profession, and in the early 80s, I worked for Shell in the Philippines. After 4.5 years working with Shell, I resigned my job, went back to my province, which is the southern part of the Philippines, and went into business. I went into business because I remember my mother used to tell me before, if you want to get rich, if you want to get wealthy, you can never be wealthy if you are going to be an employee. So you have to own your business, because my mother was a businessman. Was my mother right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I resigned, I went into business, joined the family business, went into farming, went into selling bakery products because our family business was bakeries. And then I eventually met Mary Rose, became a girlfriend, and went into selling, cookware. Because her mother was selling cookware before, and she told me that if I am going to marry Mary Rose, then I'd better sell her cookware too. So I went into the cookware business. Eventually, when we got married, we went into the fast food business. We actually had 2 restaurants back home. And it was at that time, in 1992, I was in the office, when this lady who came all the way from Manila, but was now in our province, went in and started talking about this new company that she called Forever Living. And everybody says, what? What's Forever Living? You know, when you say Forever Living in our country, it sounded as if it was a memorial plan kind of thing, you know, cemetery box, Forever Living. Somebody thought it was a church, Forever Living. Well, we asked her, what's Forever Living? And she started taking out this little box. You know, this little box, this one, that we call the Touch of Forever. This is a very nice looking box. But at that time, in 1992, the box was light blue, yellow, I think violet. It was not appealing at all. And she started opening the box and started taking out shampoos and toothpaste, and of course, this very famous bottle. And I said, oh my God, she's going to ask me to sell toothpaste and shampoo, and I'm a guy, I'm an engineer, and she's going to make me an Avon lady. Because in our place at the time in 1992, nobody ever heard of Forever Living. Nobody ever, vitamins and food supplements were not the in thing yet. And multi-level marketing, our business, network marketing, nobody heard of in the Philippines back then. So I thought it was Avon or Tupperware kind of thing. And the only people I know who did Avon and Tupperware were mostly ladies, selling it on a part-time basis to help their husbands with extra income, right? And I said, oh no, of course, I'm not going to be interested in that kind of thing. But to make the long story short, I joined Forever Living. So, because if I'm going to talk some more, maybe we'll finish by 12 o'clock. We joined Forever Living. You know what? I joined Forever Living. My wife continued to do, no, not the bakery, but the 2 restaurants. So she was managing the restaurants. And there was one thing that, 2 things that, 2 important things why, what happened to us in Forever Living. The first was that when we started doing Forever Living, my wife actually was diagnosed to be sick of glomerulonephritis and lupus. I think I'll ask her to explain.
Arthritis.
Glomerulonephritis, kidney ailment, and lupus. And maybe I'll take a break, and can I ask her to just talk about what happened to her? Yeah. So can you help me welcome my girlfriend, Mary Rose?
everybody. I just give a short testimony so Rene could proceed with a lecture on how to become managers fast. Okay. So that's one thing I say every time we do the demo. To the reason why we're still with Forever Living. For me, the Lord used Forever Living to heal me, because at the time when Forever Living came, at the time when I noticed that I was getting sick. So even though that I'm a nutritionist, but our training in school was different with what we call about, nowadays we call wellness, right? The alternative medicine. So we have different type of management when it comes to modern medicine and the alternative method of healing the body. So we were trained the medical way. So we were not taught in school why we get sick and how to prevent from getting sick, right? So so even though I'm a nutritionist, I got sick, no, with the wrong food I ate, and I didn't take any water. I was just drinking about a glass or two a day, because I don't like drinking water. I'm just drinking cola and eating too much meat. So at the age of, that time was 27, but at the age of 25, when we got married, I already started to feel the pain, the arthritis. Imagine at 25, you have arthritis all over your body, my knees, my foot. When I wake up, I cannot just, just walk. I have to wait several minutes for me to, to get off the pain from my feet, right? And then my hands, really painful sometimes. I cannot do like this, So we really should thank God for, for our health, Just doing this, I cannot do it. So it went on and off, and at the age of 27, then I started to urinate blood. So I went to the doctor and had checkup, and I was confirmed to have lupus. So lupus, for those who don't know what lupus is an autoimmune disease. Your immune system attacks your system. So instead of the immune system protecting you, it's attacking you. That's why you feel the arthritic pains. So usually doctors don't easily recognize the lupus, because all the while they think that you just have arthritis, especially if you're young, right? So, and then the lupus actually affected my kidneys. So it slowly destroyed my kidneys. So my doctor, upon diagnosis, she told me I need to have a biopsy, so they will know what exact steroids to give me, because that's the only medicine the medicine that will be for my ailment. So when my mother knew about what happened to me, and I was about to take steroids, she called me and she told me, no, don't take steroids. I'll bring you to a doctor who's practicing alternative medicine. And to tell you frankly, when we started this business, I really don't like selling. And I don't like being sold to, and I don't like selling. That was me before, but now I understand what really selling is. It's love. It's loving people. It's now one of my purpose in life. Educating people of health, of preventing ailment, of being well until we grow old. Growing old, we become 90, but we still look 60, right? So even though we were into this, actually I was not taking the supplements. I was busy with our 2 restaurants. So, and I said, oh, what an ugly bottle this is. I don't like the color. So I was just there, just listening, but I was not participating. So when I got sick, I brought this along with me, because back then in our place, our hospital didn't have any, they don't perform biopsies. So I was sent to the central area of our country, which is Manila. So I was And that is where the National Kidney Institute is. So I was scheduled for the biopsy. So I brought this with me, and good thing the doctor was going to perform my biopsy. He was going out of the country. So he said, I'll be out of the country for 2 weeks, prepare your money. And he did a test on me, still same findings. So I said, so prepare your money and I'll do the biopsy in 2 weeks. So I had time to go with my mother, with the doctor was practicing alternative medicine. She's really a medical doctor. And so the first thing I asked her was, would I still get well? Because when I asked my nephrologist, my doctor, kidney doctor, when I asked her, Doc, if I take steroids, will I still get well? She was honest with me. She said, no. If you take steroids, it would just arrest your condition, but you will deteriorate. Eventually, you will have dialysis. Yeah, she told me that. So, but I really, I really cried when she told me that. So the first thing I asked that doctor was practicing alternative medicine was, would I still get well? So because maybe I'll be spending again money and then same thing, right? So you know what? What she answered me was positive. She said, of course. She told me the body heals itself. You only need cleansing and proper nutrition. That's it. To prevent ailment and to get out of ailment, to be healthy again, just need 2 things. So and then I showed her this because actually we're with Forever Living and we have this aloe vera because I saw in our brochure because our brochure is we have it we call the product testimonies. It says it's good for cleansing and kidney problems. So but it did not specify what kind of kidney problem. So I was I was eager to know what kind of, because I have nephritis. So I brought this. So I said, is this good for me? And she said, yeah, it's good. It's a good colon cleanser. She told me. So I started taking this. At first, I started taking her vitamins. And then she told me, just try my treatment for a month. If nothing happens, she told me, then have your way. Go back to your doctor, have your biopsy, and take your steroids. But just try my treatment for a month. So I started buying a little of her supplements and then started drinking the aloe vera. And back home, I noticed that most of the products she prescribed, we have. So she was giving me minerals, she was giving me fish oils, she was giving me, in fact, it was not good because she was giving me high dosage of vitamin C, and some she has Fields of Green, but she has different brand, right? So she has another kind of antibiotic, which the bee propolis we have. So I started thinking. At the time, we were already managers, so I said, why not, buy our own products? So even though I'm not sure of the quality, because as Rene joked, I'm sick of kidneys and he's sick of cancer of the pocket. Before we joined Forever Living, we were financially hard up because, business was not doing good, and running a restaurant is not, it's hard because you keep on putting in money, you're doing all the repairs again, and etc. So I converted to all Forever Living products. So true enough, in a month's time, because back then my urine was like dead blood every day. It's like Coca-Cola with water. So that was my urine every day. And I get sick every week. I get fever. And every time I have fever, it's now fresh blood. So that was happening for maybe a month. And I was really very sick. So when I started taking the products, then I noticed the cleansing, a lot of things came out from it, even though I was not that, like the big stomach and everything, but a lot came out. And I started to feel better. I was never getting sick anymore, and the body pains went, the arthritis went, because I could hardly even carry, my suitcase or push my suitcase at the airport. I cannot do it because it's too painful. My kidneys, it's too painful. So because of the inflammation, and so all of that went in a month's time. But in a month's time, I noticed that my urine became orangey from dead blood to orangey. So I noticed the big difference. So I said, yeah, the doctor was right. But I went back to my nephrologist, thinking that she would be happy for me, and then I would submit myself to her for follow-ups. I would pay her, right? So just check on me, but I will use this. I will not use steroids. I was already thinking what to tell her, and so I went back and brought some of the products I'm using, and I told her happily, Doc, I'm feeling okay, and you know what? I'm taking this, and she said, you're so hard-headed. You should bring your husband. I want to talk to him. You need to take steroids immediately. So now what I did, I went underground. I did. So, I felt alone. Because my doctor was far away in Manila. It's a 2-hour flight in our place. So, and I was not using her products anymore. So, I couldn't ask her for her opinion. So, and with that, I did my own checkup, because I already know what to do, what to check on during my blood test and my urine test. So every month I check on my lab tests, and every month it was improving a lot. So back then we didn't know much about the product. So it says that when you're really in serious condition, take 3 tablespoons. In moderate condition, take 2. For health, take 1. So imagine 1 tablespoon a day. So we were doing that. So I was taking like that every day for my kidneys. So it took me 2 years for everything to clear up. And in 2 years, pray to God, my blood test, my lupus, no more positive tests for lupus, and my creatinine and my red blood cells became normal. Wow. So I had my checkup last 4 months ago, and still, So,
Word of caution though, because she's been taking the products for so long, 14 years, there are side effects to taking these products. I don't know if Elvira and Alex told you about the side effects if you take products like this on a long-term basis. Yeah, because she has been taking the products for 14 years, when she was 29 years old. After 14 years, she still looks 29. That's a side effect. Anyway, so actually when we did the business, we did not expect that the business actually grew very fast. Everybody was into this forever living thing. So we had a lot of people coming in to buy products and selling products. And we made managers in such a short time. Other people, our downlines, made managers in such a short time. And in a short period of time, our income rose to 100,000 pesos, $2,000. But back then, the exchange rate was 25:1. Now it's 50:1. So that the equivalent then was $4,000 in such a short period of time. And even went as high as up to 200,000 pesos, or $8,000 US at the time. This was in 1993.
Big money.
And we were able to go, we qualified, actually I qualified for the World Rally in Japan in 1993.
Wow.
We qualified for the very first time for the the rally in Dallas, Texas in 1993. So for the very first time. And, but you know what happened after that time? We did not know how to do the business. It's just like we know how to sell the products, but we did not know how to do some trainings. We didn't know how to sustain our people, our downlines, in doing the business. And as fast as our business went, It was like a rocket. It zoomed very fast. But the following year, late 1993, the business started to slow. Actually, it slowed very fast. So it went very fast. It slowed also very fast. And when in 1994, from a high of 200,000 peso income, our income dropped to 40,000. And actually, in 1994, we qualified for the rally again. But in 1995, we weren't able to qualify for the rally. And so, from many people, we had 80 people coming to our meetings once a week in the morning and 40 people in the afternoon. That was the time that when we do meetings, there will be no people coming in. There will be 3 people. I'd come to the office because I was area sales manager at the time in Davao. And I would tell my people, my downlines who were there, who were still active, I tell them, do we have participants? Yes, we have 3. Oh, praise God, we have 3 people. Okay, there was even one time, nobody came, and we were waiting for participants. And there was one lady who knocked, and she said, is this forever living training? And we said, yes, okay. So have a seat. Started sitting down. And then she realized that when we were talking, we were all distributors. So she said, am I the only one? And we said, yes, we just finished the big training, but for you, we'll do one-on-one gladly. She didn't realize that she was the only one. It went on for some time. And up to the time, in Davao, we only had 4 people left. And I remember we sat on a chair, a 4-cornered chair, and I told, there was one guy and 2 ladies, and I told them, you know what? If we don't quit, if we continue to do this business, we're going to be millionaires. We're going to be rich. If you were the people I was talking to, the 3 people I was talking to, nobody comes to your meeting, your income has already dropped very low, and your upline is going to tell you, you're going to be wealthy if you don't quit. What would you think? You know what? The guy who was with us, who was left, eventually left to go back to work. The other lady, she went to Australia to work as a cashier of a supermarket. But the other lady is still with us today. She's one of the top distributors of Forever Living Philippines, Josie Viduya. And it's true, today she has a second house in a gated subdivision in our place. She earns 6-figure income in Forever Living. She has a big group in Virginia Beach. The big group that we have in Dallas right now is from her group also.
Wow.
But anyway, we kept on trying to revive the business, doing whatever silly things that we could think of, until finally, 2 of my downlines from another place qualified for the World Rally in Peru. And they asked Rex, help us in the Philippines. We're like, we're like already, how do you call this? Expiring, dying. And so, like Rex told them, how can we help you? You know any Chai? Can you bring him over to the Philippines? And so the next thing we knew, Eddie Chai was our guest in our rally, our Philippine rally in 1995. And he started talking about how to present the business, started showing, how to train your people. And he invited us to go to Taiwan and stay at his place and see how the business goes, how the business was run in Taiwan. And so when we went back, we were already equipped with new knowledge, which we applied. And then the business started to grow and grow and grow. And I don't know if you know that in 1999, the Philippines became number 2 next to Japan. 2000, in year 2000, and I think also in the year 2001, the Philippines became the number 2 country next to Japan. Okay? So the business really just grew. Now, today, my wife and I were still with Forever Living, and now we're doing business here in the USA. Well, there are many Filipinos in the US. We speak the language, Tagalog, but we come from the southern part of the Philippines. We know Tagalog, we speak Tagalog, and we speak also Visayan. Okay. We came in 2000, before we tried doing the business here in the US, Fortunately, we were not into e-commerce yet. So when we talk to people and tell them, you go to the area sales manager, more often than not, the area sales manager cannot speak English. So when they call, can't understand, so nothing happens. But in 2000, the business, everything was computerized. It took us 3 years to actually start the business, and we started doing the business we came back to do the business in Wichita, the cousin of my wife, Mary Rose. And in 1 month's time, she became manager in Wichita. There were only 500 Filipino families in Wichita. The following year, in 2004, we went to Las Vegas, and together with 3 other couples, Edmond and Lonnie Ramos, they were there. Barty and Eileen Espino, I don't know if you know Barty. And of course, my wife and I, and we stayed to do the business. And her cousin, also in Las Vegas, also became manager in a month's time. Okay, and last year, we did not do much business here in the U.S. But now we went to, after the rally in Houston, we went to Dallas and helped out our downline there. And she became manager too. Now, we're seeing opportunity in New York, feeling our way around. Because, you know why? Because I heard that if you're going to make it here, you're going to make it everywhere. Okay. Now, some learnings on why we are still with Forever Living, why during the times that we were supposed to be very down, we did not give up. And the very first important thing that we must consider, or we must think, is that you must have a reason. And your reason must be very deep enough in order for you to succeed, or in order for you to stay and not quit when quitting seems to be very enticing, like in our case. When everybody left, we did not quit. Why? Because we had a very important reason. I was talking about Josie Viduya, one of our downline managers in the Philippines. She was a plain housewife. All her life, her husband was working. He was a seaman in a vessel. And she was just happy taking care of 4 kids. She has 1 special child. But you know what happened? She was also part of our group selling cookware. Never sold anything. Never sold anything. She was painfully shy. But you know what happened? Before Forever Living came to the Philippines, her husband died in an accident. No insurance. So what happened to her was that she had to borrow money just to bring the body of her husband from Luzon all the way to our place, to our province. And when we had the first meeting of Forever Living, I asked her to join Forever Living. I sponsored her to join Forever Living. You know why? Not because she was good at doing this thing, not because she was good at selling products. I know her. She could not sell any. She never sold any cookware. And she was painfully shy. But I said, just join the meeting so that you can take your mind off your problems, so that you can forget what happened to your husband. It's an activity where you can maybe find closure. And she said she was not sure about doing this business. She knew a lot of people into selling, but they went, instead of helping them out, they went further into debt, because people in the Philippines will not buy cash. They will buy what we call utang, or credit. No? And actually, when the meeting came, the first meeting came, she stayed at the back, and she's like saying so many things. You know, it's very hard to do this business. And when the top distributor at the time, he was asked to show this check for 40,000 pesos, or around $1,000, her eyes grew wide. And you know, when I looked into her eyes, I thought I saw dollar signs. And she saw she saw the opportunity that can actually provide for her family of 4. So that was her deep reason. She was able to overcome her shyness, her lack of experience in doing this kind of business, because of a very deep reason. Not only must you have a very deep reason, you must have a sense of mission. You know, I watch movies, and some movies make fun of what we do. some movies would tend to call us vitamin salesmen. You heard about those stuff. But actually, we're not vitamin salesmen. No, far from that. Like, for example, Mayos was sharing earlier about this being a mission for her because she got healed of these products. Now she finds it a mission to educate people to have better health. No? So there must be something in you that will sustain you even if you don't see results. Because results will come as long as you continue to do the business. So that's one. You have to have very deep reasons. Number two is that we must have a very strong belief system. Belief in what we're doing. Number one, belief in our business. Because in the US, many people look at our business as if our business is a scam. Am I right?
Yes.
Actually, there are a lot of scams. But Forever Living is an honest-to-goodness system. It's an honest-to-goodness distribution and marketing system. And I tell my downlines, and I tell you people, look, we don't ask people to pay to register. We don't ask people to buy a kit, because other companies would ask you to buy kits for $500, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000. We don't ask you to do that. You buy a kit if you want. If you're serious into the business, we suggest that you buy it. So this is not a scam. So you must believe, we must believe that what we're doing actually is a very good thing. We're going to help a lot of people financially and health-wise. One more thing. The industry that we are in is not called the wellness industry. You know this thing? Wellness. Before, when we started doing Forever Living here in America, not many people were into vitamin stuff. But today, 2 years ago, we were watching CNN, and doctors were saying that to treat cancer, you must first go on a detox. That's what Dr. Greg Henderson has been saying 28 years ago. Detox, cleansing. So, wellness is a big thing now. And I don't know if you heard of Paul Zane Pilzer. You heard of the guy? Yeah. Paul Zane Pilzer. Paul Zane Pilzer, he was the guy who predicted the boom in e-commerce. Several years ago, he said, the e-commerce is going to be a very big thing. People will start buying through the internet. People will start banking through the internet. And it did. It happened. Now in a book, The Wellness Revolution, he's saying that the next business that is going to boom in the next 10 years is the wellness business. And the ones who are going to make a lot of wealth are the distributors of the wellness products, who are going to distribute these products bypassing the traditional channels of distribution, direct from the company to the consumer. And what is this business? And what is our business? Exactly what he's saying. And today, if you take a look, people are now into health. People are conscious of what they eat. People want to look good, feel good. So there's a lot of spas and a lot of, facial reconstruction thing like that, to make you look younger. Take away these stored fats. Yeah. So our business, our industry is going to really be a very big industry. Okay? Number two is you have to have a strong belief in the company, because there are many companies. When we got our visas were denied. First time, second time, third time, we were denied visas. So we said, okay, if they don't want us to go to the US, we'll not go. And in fact, what happened was, there were 7 of us. There was the seal of the United States. And so we went in front of the seal of the United States and started doing like that. Because in the Bible it says, if you're not welcome, shake the dust off your feet. But our managing director said, no, I know, I'll make an appeal. And so what happened was that we were granted visas. But then the main group already left. And when we arrived in Las Vegas, it was the last day of the rally, including the post-rally, and it was our first day. 6 of us, because one decided not to come. The 6 of us. But you know what happened? We had a special rally of our own. From Las Vegas, they brought us to Phoenix, the head office. And you know who our driver was in Phoenix? It was Harold Green, the vice president. And he toured us all over Phoenix. And he brought us to the house of Rexmond. Have you ever been to the house of Rexmond in Phoenix? Yeah. We went around the house of Rexmond. And you know who was our tour guide in the house of Rexmond? Rexmond. Rexmond. He toured us around. And when we went to the manufacturing facilities in Dallas, the manager at the time, I forgot his name, he was the one who toured us all over Dallas. And when we went to Harlingen, Texas, to see the plantations, of course, the top guy there was our tour guide. And there were 6 of us Filipinos who were not even big. The production of Philippines at that time was very small, very minimal. And our incomes were also very small. And then the last stop was we went to Disneyland. And they sent over a lady from head office to just be with us during that one-day trip, and the following day she went back to Phoenix. And we said, wow, we're like VIPs. No? The company really takes care of you. So we had that did not escape us. You know, even to this day, the people that we were with during the time are still with Forever Living because of what Forever Living did to us at that time. Okay? Believe in the products. Of course, my wife, Mayos, got well because of these products. Josie and Lonnie, their children before were sick of asthma. Comes to the doctor every now and then, but when they started taking the products, goodbye asthma forever. If you have to believe in the products, you must use the products yourself. It must show. If you are a serious distributor, no ifs and buts. You have to use the products yourself. And number 3, believe in our marketing plan. You know, some companies may have better products, may have a better product. Some companies may probably have a better marketing plan. It's just like McDonald's. You have a McDonald's business, you're into franchise with McDonald's, there may be a better burger than McDonald's. But if you take the business in general, as a whole, including everything as a mix, Forever Living offers us the best mix of all of this. I don't know, but in Forever Living, in the Philippines, compared to the other companies, in Forever Living, you make a lot of money than other distributors make in their business. Okay? So all this you must believe in, so that when push comes to shove, when nothing seems to be working, when your downlines leave you, even your uplines leave you, you're still there, slugging it out, because time will come when it's payback time. Okay? Yeah. So the second, number 1, it's the reason. You have to have a very deep reason. You have to search deep down inside of yourself. What's your reason why you're going to do this business? Strong belief system. Third is a commitment that you do. Commitment. You must commit to do this business. You must commit to succeed in this business. And what we say to our downlines in our trainings is that when you say, okay, I'll do that for 2 months. I'll try. If nothing happens in 2 months, that's it. Nothing much happens in 2 months, especially in America, because you do this on a part-time basis, right? On a part-time basis, nothing much will happen in 2 months' time. If you're really serious, I believe our materials say, do this for at least a year. Not a year. I'd say, do this for at least 3 years. Because if you're going to go into normal, traditional business, you give your traditional business 3 years before you decide if it's a viable business or not. Am I right? First year, you lose money. You expect to lose money. Second year, you break even. And third year, that's when money starts coming, profits start coming in. If you're going to treat this as a business, you must treat it just like any ordinary business. Commit yourself to doing this. And committing yourself means actually doing the business. Because many people commit to do this business, but just attend meetings and not do anything at all. We have a lot of them in the Philippines before. They come to the meetings every time. When speakers come, they say, yeah, we're going to make a lot of money. And they say, power, power. But they don't invite people. They don't do product demonstrations or what we call home parties. You call it product launch here in the US. So you must also commit to actually doing the business. Commitment is very important in our business. Because when you open a traditional business, you put in capital. Suppose you put in $50,000. After 2 weeks, after 2 months, you find out you don't like the business at all. Can you just say, I don't like this business, I'm going to close this business down? No, why? Because you made a commitment, a $50,000 commitment. If you say, I'm going to close this store down, it's like saying, goodbye, $50,000. In our business, when you join, how much do you actually pay?
Nothing.
You pay nothing. If you buy a kit, a combo pack, attached to Forever, that's $260, which you use, or maybe you already sold. It's nothing. So maybe after 2 years, after 2 months, when you start selling products nobody buys, people laugh at you. When you start sponsoring people, your friends laugh at you and tell you, oh, you bought into that pyramiding thing. So nobody shows that when you invite people, you can easily say, okay, I think Forever Living is for Alex and Elvira. It's their line of business, but it's not my line. Well, I'm meant to be a nurse, or I'm meant to be this and that. I'm meant to work in the hospital. As much as I would like to, Forever is not for me. Goodbye, Forever Living. Anyway, I did not lose anything. Right? Let me just show you something. We joined in 1992. In 1992, as I said, in 1993, our income rose all the way up to 200,000 pesos. And in 1993, we were able to go to USA, I was able to go to Japan as an incentive. Okay? But in 1994, our business started to fall down. And it went all the way down to 40,000, and it was falling very fast. Okay? 1995, and this was the period from 1994 to 1995. You know, people already left. Nobody attending our meetings. It's as if we can't do anything to improve the business. I thought of quitting too, honestly. I thought maybe, anyway, I earn money. Maybe, that's it. I don't lose anything. I earn a little. Maybe I'll stop doing Forever Living. But fortunately, because of our reasons and our belief system, we did not quit Forever Living. In 1995, I was telling you about how we learned to do Forever Living. Business started to pick up. And in 1996, business started to pick up. Our income again rose to 100,000. And because we had that income, we were able to buy our first car. And it's an Isuzu pickup truck. Maybe it's not a big thing for you, but for us in the Philippines, it's a big thing. Pickup, okay? No car incentive yet. In 1997, okay, we had the first car incentive. And then, well, we had to sell the pickup so that we can take advantage of the car incentive. We bought a Pajero. Or, you call it here a Montero. Maybe, again, it's not a big thing for you, but in the Philippines, you know, the government officials, this is their car. Yeah, okay. And the company qualified for profit sharing. We were surprised. I was not expecting it. But we qualified for profit sharing, and we earned 1 million pesos in profit sharing in 1997. 1 million pesos, something like $20,000. In 1998, again, we were qualifying for the US trip here. US. We qualified for profit sharing, and our profit sharing check at the time was 3 million pesos. In 1999, of course, we qualified for the US, but there's a bonus. We qualified also for the World Rally in 1999. You know where the World Rally was in 1999? Manila, Philippines. Oh, but we had but we had 1 week in Japan. Okay. Anyway, we also made 3 million in profit sharing in 1999. Okay, all the way, and we had another car incentive in 2001. Car incentive, another car incentive, and so on and so forth. Okay. I'm not bragging. I am a very humble person. Okay. But what I'm trying to point out is this. I told you that if we quit at that time, we will not lose anything. Do you remember? Okay, we will not lose anything. Look, if we quit at that time, how much would we have lost? A lot. See? Okay? All of this. And the chance to have a very big slice of the pie in New York. Okay? So, when you get the temptation of quitting, just remember, the thing that maybe the opportunity, the future that's waiting for you, just another corner, just another bench. Okay, it might be this. And I'm saying, it's not, it might be, it is all this. Because here in the US, you have all the opportunities. It's very hard for us to sell in the Philippines, because Philippines is a very poor country. When the distributors came to the Philippines in 1999, our managing director showed everyone, the top distributors of all over, how we were doing the business here. We had to contend with so much traffic. Like, you will be stuck up in 2-hour traffic, just moving maybe 10 miles, or 10 kilometers, 8 miles. And they saw how poor some of our people were. You know how in the Philippines, how some of our downlines sell the products? They don't sell by the case, or even by the bottle. They will sell by the piece. Just so we could sell the products. See? But people do make money. This is a viable business, even if we do it like that. Here it's so easy for people to buy aloe vera. You know how much aloe vera in the Philippines is? It's 1,060 pesos. You know how much the minimum wage in the Philippines is? If you have work, 4,000 pesos. This is 25%. One bottle is 25% of your income. Monthly income. And yet we were able to do a good business in the Philippines. Here, people can easily afford the products. Okay? So, commitment is very important. You must decide to do this business and see it through. See it through success in your business. Because we have a very great opportunity. This is a very great company, and we have very good products, and you are in the right industry. This industry is going to explode, like it did explode in Europe. It's going to explode right here in the USA. Okay. Let me just talk about one more thing. You know what? I think what turns most distributors off is what we call rejection. Am I right? You think that your friend, because he's your friend, is going to join you, is going to buy products from you, and when you actually talk to them, they laugh at you in your face, they insult you. You experience those? Yeah, because if you don't experience those things, I don't think you are doing forever living right. Because in our trade or in our industry, rejection is actually normal. People who do forever living, who do our business, get rejected a lot of times. Okay? Now, I think we just have to have the proper perspective on what rejection is all about. You see, in our business, what we're looking for is the people who will say, yes, I like your products, I like to buy your products. Why only now? You should have come to me several years ago. We'd like the people who will say, yes, I want to join your business. This is the opportunity I was looking for ever since. This was what I was made to do. But unfortunately, before you can get the people who will say yes to you, you have to sift through a lot of people who are going to say no to you. Okay? That's the reality. So, I think the attitude that we must have is that our business in sponsoring the right people or getting the right customers is that we are actually, what we're actually doing is prospecting. And prospecting is looking for the gold. If you dig for gold, you don't get the gold immediately. You have to get through a lot of dirt, mud, which you put in trucks. And when you get the gold, it's not gold yet, it's ore that you have to go through a process before you finally get only a few kilos or a few pounds of gold from all those tons of dirt. Am I right? So that's how we do the business. We keep on talking to people and talking to people, setting them aside. So when people say no to us, we just say, okay, thank you. See you again. Maybe I can follow up you again next time, maybe in the future. Maybe I'll talk to you 3 months from now or 6 months from now. No, what do you call this? No hard feelings. Nothing emotional. It's just a fact of our business. Okay? It's a prospecting. But more than prospecting, it's not just a yes or no, but it's a matter of timing. Because those people who say no to us, it's not yet their time to buy the products or to join the business. Why? Because nothing is permanent. If you have decided to do this business forever, their time will come. Am I right? Yes. Their time will come. One day, sooner or later, they will eventually buy products from you or they will join you in our business. Okay? I remember my brother-in-law. He invited him to join Forever Living. And you know what? He said no, outright. For 4 years, we were following him up, talking to him about Forever, about the products, and his answer was always no. When I learned how to do the business presentation, this was 1995, the first person I ever approached was my brother-in-law. You know, I seated him in one chair, a special chair. I had this whiteboard like this, and I was talking to him about, this business. I was giving the business presentation. He was looking. I thought he was interested. But when I looked at his eyes, the eyes was looking through the whiteboard. And after my presentation, he said, you talk to my wife. Okay, talk to my wife. He was not interested at all. Okay? Then one day, coming from out of town, my phone rang. It was my wife. And she told me, you know what? The furniture business of Jojo, because he's my brother-in-law, and Gingging, her sister, got burned last night. Burned everything. And I said, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Not because that's what you get for not joining Forever Living. But because their business was already shaky, and they couldn't give it up because of emotional attachment to the business. And when it finally got burned, that's it, clean start. Okay? So when we started talking again to them about Forever Living, what was the answer?
Yes.
No.
Let's try it. Yes. They joined Forever and eventually became our third largest line in Forever Living. Okay? So when people say no to you, it's not no forever. Remember, our business is forever. They will have their time. Okay? So we just have to have, I think, in our supervisor to manager training, I think there's an item there on how to manage your prospects. So if they don't join now, you put them in a quarter follow-up list. So that after 3 months, you get in touch with them again. And you do this on a regular basis. Then never put that card away until they join the business. Or they die. And when they die, they say they died, you have to go to the funeral parlor and actually really see if they really are dead. Because they might, they may have caught on to you and say, okay, so that you will not follow me up, and I will say I'm dead. Okay, it's a joke, but you know how it is. Yeah. Okay, so that's a follow-up system that we have. So another thing is that all of this thing, talking to people about the products or our opportunity, it's not just about prospecting, or it's not just a matter of timing, but it's actually a matter of making friends. Friendshipping. Rex always loves to say that the power of forever is the power of love. It's all about making friends. So when you talk to people, you make sure that you establish relationships first. With your downlines, relationships must be there. Your customers, relationships must be there. People must not think that we're only out to make a fast buck. People must actually feel that we actually do care for them. The friendship thing. This is all about making friends. Okay? Now, I never expected to be in front of you guys. I never expected to be a friend of Alex and Elvira. Oh, well, but this is Forever Living. I was telling Elvira earlier, Elvira, I'm nervous. Don't be nervous. We're a big family. We're the family of Forever Living, see? But just suppose, because there's a survey, there's actually statistic about our business, the industry of multi-level marketing. It actually says that people who don't quit the business, doing the business regularly, consistently, for a period of 10 years, that statistic says that 85% of those who don't quit, continue to do the business, you are actually making friends. And you did Forever Living for 10 years, made 1 million friends all over the US, but did not succeed in the business, okay? Now here's what can happen. Supposing I'm the guy who did not actually succeed, like very big success, but I have made 1 million friends. Now if you're a friend of mine, and I ask you, I'm not financially doing well this time, my business did not actually take off, can you lend me $10? How about you? Can you lend me $10? Will you lend me $10? Of course. What's $10? Maybe you'll say, okay, don't pay me $10. Okay? How many friends do I have?
1 million.
1 million? 1 million times 10? Friendship actually has value. Now, the example is only meant to show the value of friendship. Okay? So when we do that, not only are we going to be financially well off, we're going to be a lot happier, because in other businesses, they actually make it. They actually become very rich, but they have a lot of enemies, right? No, I have known people in the Philippines who became wealthy, but they have to have bodyguards to protect them because they have a lot of enemies. their competitors, their employees whom they have treated unfairly. They have to have all this. And in Forever Living, if you make it very big, there will be a lot of people thanking you, because you cannot make it big in Forever Living if you have not helped people. Do you agree? So I should say that this is actually a very good business for all of us. This is a business wherein, when you are blessed by God and you are in a position to actually pass on the blessings to other people. There was a time in 1999 when I went into a comfort zone and I said, maybe it's time for me to go slow on Forever Living and maybe go full-time in church work, because we're part of a church organization, like going into full-time ministry, like that. And so I was not particularly very active in doing Forever Living. I do trainings, but I was not actually doing hope parties anymore or sponsoring people. One time I was asked by somebody to speak to a crowd. She asked me to, I have a very big group. Can you come and speak so that we can be inspired, so that we can be motivated? And I said, oh my God, how am I going to motivate these people when deep down inside of me, I have lost my motivation? And so I started to pray. Lord, what is the reason for you to have brought me here in Forever Living? And the Lord just brought me back to the time that I quit. I was about to quit my job with Shell. I was due for promotion, but then I decided to quit, because when I went to the farm, there were a lot of poor people, and I said, if I am going to continue being with Shell as an employee, I can make it. I can maybe even become manager or one of the executives of the company. But will I make a difference? Will I make a difference to these people? So that's what made me decide to actually quit my job and do small business, because that way I can help many more people. Actually, nothing came out of my businesses, as Mayos earlier said. She was sick of kidneys. I was sick with cancer of the pocket, because all the businesses that I was bragging to you about earlier actually failed. The Lord brought me to that place, and I said, what is Forever Living? Forever Living is a business that actually blessed you, but now you're in a position to bless many more people. Look, in your organization, you have a lot of people who used to have no hope. There was one particular person somewhere in a very far place from ours. I don't even know him. I just know him from pictures and from testimonies. He didn't go to school. Just went up to grade 2, and he was vegetable vendor in a public market. Here, if you're a vendor, even if it's vegetables, you make a lot of money. But in the Philippines, if you're a vegetable vendor, you don't make money. You're just a marginal. You have marginal income. You're very poor. But they were invited to join Forever Living, and they started making money in Forever Living, and was blessed by this business. I have a downline who, his business was, he was driving a tricycle. A tricycle, I don't know if you know tricycles. No, it's a motorcycle with a sidecar, and they would pick up passengers. This was also a very, the income is very small. But because of Forever Living, he was able to buy a pickup. And so I said, yeah, if I didn't do Forever Living, because I'm the upline of all of these people, then these people will not have been blessed. Not to mention other people who got well, whose health became, their health became better because of because of our products. And I said, even if I'm not directly responsible to these people, just because I said yes to do Forever Living, the blessing went on and on and on and on and blessed many people. And I said, yes, this is the business for me. So I'm into full-time ministry right now because I do believe that this is a business that the Lord wants me to be in together with my wife because it blesses a lot of people. And today we're trying to do forever living in the U.S. because there are a lot of people that needs to be touched by our products. You know, forever living became, you know, but I'd like to repeat. Forever living today is a very big company. It's a very big company. Because it's big, it's very, very stable. 28 years, vertically integrated, $2 billion, 120 countries worldwide. But nobody knows about it in America. In the US. You know, some people will say, you join our business because this is ground floor opportunity, this is a new thing, you're going to make a lot of money. Unfortunately, new companies tend to fail. Here is a new company, a new opportunity right here in the US. But it is very solid and very stable. You know, if you just continue to do this business the right way, Alex and Elvira and your uplines will teach you how to do it. The company will teach you. If you just really do it the right way, this is going to be a very good business, not just for you, but for a lot of people in your downlines. Okay? So,